Welcome back to the next video in my series all about how to create invisible short row shaping in crochet. Now in the first video I showed you how to use basic stitches to work both increasing and decreasing short row steps and how to work over the edges as you go downwards so that you get a seamless invisible look to your crochet shaping. And now that you've mastered the technique of working down over these edges, we need to also learn how to work upwards over the short row edges. This was actually one of the most highly requested video topics over on my Instagram channel, so that's what we're going to go over in today's video. So as per the first video, I'm just using DK weight yarn and a 5.5mm hook, and I've worked up a swatch using only single crochet stitches, and I've gone ahead and created these stepped edges on both sides of the swatch. So I did this side first, and then I fastened off and rejoined the yarn on this side, and this simulates working it in the round because that is most commonly when we're going to need to use this technique. If you're using short row shaping in a flat panel, you can work increasing short rows so that you're always working down over that stepped edge. But when we're working in the round, there will come a time when you have to go down over one edge and upwards over the opposite edge. So let's first remind ourselves of how we work down over the edges. So I'm just doing a chain one and turning here, and I'm just going to work single crochets up to this edge as we did in the first video. So we've got 4 single crochets here at this first short row edge. Now to work down, remember we want to work decreasing heights, so we're going to work a linked double crochet. If you need a refresher on this, I would encourage you to go back and watch the first video where I show you how to do these stitches. We're going to insert the hook in the next stitch and complete our linked double crochet. Now we're going to work a linked half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to work 2 single crochets to finish off this step. Now we've come up to the next row edge, we're going to do the same. We're going to work a linked double crochet in the first stitch. So I insert my hook and pull up a loop. This replaces the yarn over. Insert my hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, working a linked half double crochet through that horizontal bar, into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through 3, and then now I can continue working my single crochets across the row. So here's our first side. We worked decreasing short rows and then one final row which resolved all of the stepped edges. And we want to do the same on the opposite edge but in reverse. So this side where I worked gradually decreasing stitch heights, on the other side I'm going to want to work gradually increasing stitch heights to get over the stepped edges. So for this reason I've worked single crochets across the middle, but you might be able to see here I've left 2 stitches unworked before this step edge. Now this is because just like on the other side, this one is going to be a double crochet and this one is going to be a half double crochet that will give us that smooth increase in stitch height. So between a single crochet and a half double crochet, you don't need to link them because a single crochet is quite a short stitch. But for the next stitch, the double crochet, I will link it to the half double crochet behind to make sure that there's no gaps. So instead of yarning over, caught myself there, I'm going to insert my hook into this horizontal bar in the half double crochet. So you can see here you've got the top of the stitch it's worked into, and you've got this sort of diagonally almost horizontal bar in the half double crochet. This is the third loop. So I'm actually going to pull up a loop in this third loop on the front of the stitch and then work the double crochet as normal in the next stitch, and this gives me a linked double crochet backwards to that half double crochet. So now I hope you can see here my stitches are the right height for working up over the next stepped edge. But if I just work a single crochet into the next stitch, what I'm going to get is a hole, and we want to avoid those. So we need to link the double crochet that we just did to the row edges in front. Now there are ways that you could try to link this stitch to the row edges while you're working the double crochet, but that does get a little bit fiddly and it's not very easy to explain. So I prefer working the linked double crochet as normal, linking it backwards to the half double crochet and then linking it after you have made the stitch. So what we want to do is connect this double crochet with the row edge here, and we're actually going to do that by working a slip stitch. But rather than just working straight into the row edge, we are going to pick up a loop in this horizontal bar. And we do this because it actually continues the look of these horizontal bars. And as you look along the row, you can see the tops of these stitches have these bars. So creating one here makes it look like it's seamlessly connected. If we didn't pull up a loop in this bar and we actually just worked straight into the bar, let's show you, then when I connect it to this stitch, it's going to create a much longer bar, and that's going to be much more visible. Now, I don't know if you can really see that on the camera, but when you have your finished piece, that will be quite noticeable. So we've pulled up a loop in this horizontal bar of the double crochet, and now we're going to slip stitch it to these row edges. So we're just going to work into the base of that last single crochet there. So I'm going to go through the fabric, pull up a loop, and pull it through the first loop on the hook. So I've slip stitched the two together. So you can see now that that is joined to the row edges. Now I'm going to work my single crochet as normal in this stitch here, but I have an extra loop on my hook. For now, we're just going to pretend it's not there, and when I pull up my first loop of the single crochet, I'm going to pull through that one too. So I insert my hook into the first stitch on this step edge, yarn over and pull up a loop, and I'm going to pull that through that extra loop that was hanging out on the hook from the joining slip stitch we did, yarn over and pull through two. So that's my first single crochet complete of this higher row. So I'm going to do one more single crochet, because remember I need to leave 2 stitches to climb that staircase again. So I'm going to do a half double crochet in this stitch. The next stitch is going to be a linked double crochet, so I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop, pull up one loop in the half double crochet and insert my hook in the next stitch as normal, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop in the horizontal bar of the double crochet and slip stitch into the base of that single crochet there. Now, letting that loop hang out on the hook, I'm going to do a single crochet in that first stitch of the next row edge. And when I pull up that first loop, I'm going to pull it right through that loop on the hook too. Finish off the single crochet, yarn over and pull through 2. And then now I can continue working my single crochets. So here we have our finished sample. We've worked down the edges of the short rows here and gone up the edges on the opposite side. And we have this lovely neat top edge here to work the remaining rows into. So I hope you found this video useful. Stay tuned for the next one in the series where I show you how to use this invisible short row technique to work shaping in the round. I'll see you next time.